Okay, today's topic of discussion is the eigenvalues and eigenvectors. First of all, I will let you know what is the significance of finding the eigenvalues and eigenvectors of the linear system. Then I will discuss how we can find these two parameters of the system of linear equations. And finally, we will see the application of the eigenvalues and eigenvectors that will predict or explain the significance of it in the practical life. So for finding the eigenvalues and eigenvectors, first of all we have to solve a vector equation that is of the form of Ax is equal to lambda x, where A is the coefficient matrix of your system, x is the vector that will be called eigenvector, and it is equal to lambda times into x, which means lambda is the eigen value. So as we can clearly see, x is equal to 0 is the solution of this linear equation, but we will not use this. Why? Because it doesn't give any kind of the information. So we are interested in finding the values of x that is not equal to 0, so that we can get certain kind of the information. This non-zero vector will be called the eigenvector of our system. Okay, for finding this eigenvalue and eigenvector, we have to form a characteristic equation. The eigenvalues of your systems are also called the characteristic values or the proper values. Okay, and the set of all the values of the eigenvalues is called the spectrum of your coefficient matrix. So spectrum basically consists of at least one eigenvalue or at most n eigenvalues. So if your system is a square matrix and it has the order of n by n, then you can have at most n eigenvalues and at least you can have one eigenvalue. It can be the case when rest of the eigenvalues are equal to 0. And the magnitude or the absolute value of your eigenvalues is called the spectral radius of your coefficient matrix A. Okay, so if we find, we will see later on the meaning of this spectral radius with an example. So how we can determine the eigenvalues and eigenvectors of a matrix. So let's consider an example where A is the coefficient matrix. As you can clearly see, we are having a square matrix of the order of 2 by 2, and we know that how we can find the eigenvalue and eigenvector of this system. We have to solve this vector equation. So Ax is equal to lambda x. I can also write it as Ax minus lambda x is equal to 0, or in more clear format I can also write it as A minus lambda into I into x is equal to 0. Then I will generate the characteristic equation. How I will generate the characteristic equation? By taking the determinant of this coefficient matrix. All right, and the roots of this characteristic equation will give me the eigenvalues of the coefficient matrix A. As it can be seen clearly over here, I have written it as A minus lambda into I, which is equal to minus 5 minus lambda into I, where I is the identity matrix. So after substituting the values, I got the form of this, and by taking the determinant, I have generated the characteristic equation, which is equal to lambda square plus 6 lambda, lambda square plus 7 lambda plus 6 is equal to 0. Then I have factorized it and I have found two values of this characteristic polynomial that are the root of it basically. So lambda plus 6 and lambda plus 1 is equal to 0, and from here I got two values of this characteristic polynomial, which is lambda 1 is equal to minus 1 and lambda 2 is equal to minus 6. So spectrum is equal to minus 1 comma minus 6. As I told you earlier, the spectrum actually consists of all the eigenvalues of your system, and it has at most n values. As the order of the system was 2 by 2, so two eigenvalues that are different and distinct existing. So the spectrum consists on these two values. Now the spectral radius was equal to the the maximum of the absolute value of this. So absolute by taking the absolute and the maximum, the spectral radius came out to be 6. Now we are interested now determining the values of the eigenvectors corresponding to these two distinct eigenvalues. The first eigenvalue, which is equal to lambda 1, is equal to -1. So I will substitute this value in the given matrix, and then I will get my eigenvector corresponding to this. So let's suppose x is equal to x1, which has two coefficients x1 and x2, be the eigenvector corresponding to lambda 1 is equal to -1. And from this equation, ax minus lambda x is equal to 0. I have written this format, simply substituted the value of lambda in this above expression, and then I generated the augmented matrix from here. After generating the augmented matrix from here, I have to determine the values of x1 and x2. I simply applied the Gauss elimination and performed the row reduced operations, which generated this matrix. And then I performed the back substitution. -4x1 plus 2x2 is equal to 0, or by simplifying this, I got x2 is equal to 2x1. Now I have to suppose the value of x1 for getting the different values of x2. I can take any value of x1 from the real number. So let's say for this is easy for me to take some non-zero value which is equal to 1, x is equal to 1, and then I got x2 is equal to 2. Similarly, I could have chosen any value. I could have chosen x1 is equal to 1 over 2, by which I could have determined the value of x2 is equal to 1, and so on. In this way, my first eigenvector came to be x1, x2 is equal to 1, 2, which simply implies x2 is twice of x1. Now I will follow the same procedure for determining the eigenvector corresponding to lambda 2 is equal to -6. As you can see here clearly, I have supposed now x bar, which has two components, x1 bar and x2 bar, with the eigenvector corresponding to lambda 2 is equal to -6. And again I followed the same procedure, which means I have substituted the values of lambda 2 in the previous equation, and from here I form the augmented matrix. Then I perform the Gauss elimination, and after performing the Gauss elimination, again I got this equation, and I suppose the value of x2 now equal to -1. Why? Because I don't want this minus in my calculation for simplifying my results. That's why I wanted to remove this effect of this negative sign, so just to get some positive value. Or you could have also chosen x2 is equal to y positive 1. It doesn't make any difference. So x2 is equal to -1 will generate x1 is equal to 2, and then I have written the second eigenvector x1 bar, x2 bar is equal to -1 and 2. So from here I can conclude one thing, that is distinct eigenvalues actually gives us the distinct eigenvectors. The first rule that I got from here, distinct eigenvalues gives us distinct eigenvectors, or I can also say that the eigenvectors corresponding to the distinct eigenvalues are linearly independent. I will discuss the concept of the linear independence of the vectors in the next lecture, and till then I hope you got the idea of this.